Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today I want to talk about everything that's happened with the Fei Protocol after Genesis. So if you invested during Genesis, this is going to be a great video for you because I'm going to go over all the options that you have now. So before I jump into analysis of what happened, I do want to point out that we have a really great community Telegram here called DeFi Innovation. The chat's been very active. We've discussed everything that's happened with the Fei Protocol pretty in depth, and as you can see, there's a ton of engagement. Now, I'm always available there if you want to pop in and ask questions or contribute with your own research. So definitely something worth checking out, and I've included the link for that below in the description. Now let's jump right back into the Fei protocol and what happened. So as you can see here, the current price of Fei, which is that $1 stablecoin, isn't looking too great. It's trading about 94 cents. Now, if you remember, there is a significant burn penalty. So if you have to sell that Fei, you're not going to receive 94 or 95 cents. You're going to probably lose 30% or 40% of the value, which is not great. Now, next we have the Tribe token, which I believe launched at about $3, and it's now trading at $1.59. So again, if you pre-swapped, it's not looking too great there. But I will go over all of the options in this video of what you can do if you participate in Genesis. So at a high level, Anthony Sassano has a really great breakdown of really what happened. And he was an investor of the project. So of course, he does have a slight bias here, but I think his breakdown is really candid and straightforward. So Anthony basically says that, they raised over $1 billion of ETH. This was a huge sum of money. And essentially a lot of people were just doing this because they wanted to receive the Tribe airdrop. So this meant that as soon as Genesis happened, all of those people that received Fei and Tribe, a lot of them really didn't care about the success of this project. They just wanted the airdrop. And so that as soon as the project launched and they were able to, they actually sold off their tokens. So Anthony lists 3 takeaways of how this could have been avoided. The first thing he says is that basically they should have had a cap on the amount of ETH they raised. Now, this is something that I mentioned in our innovation chat during Genesis, was that it was just concerning how much ETH they were taking in. They raised over $1.3 billion, which is absolutely nuts. What this did was essentially minted an incredible amount of Fei that there's really not much demand for. There's really no use for Fei right now as a stablecoin other than staking it in the Fei protocol itself. So this is just naturally going to create a lot of sell pressure for the Fei token. The second thing he says here is that the Fei token really should have launched as a single product without that Tribe token. If this had happened, people wouldn't have contributed all of that ETH into the protocol in hopes of just receiving that Tribe airdrop. So this would have been a great way to test out the Fei stablecoin and see if it could actually hold its peg without the Tribe token. Third, he says there should be a disaster recovery plan to get Fei back to its peg if it's so severely off peg as it is now. So with about $1.2 or $1.3 billion of ETH in protocol controlled value, they should be able to bring that price up, but they just didn't have a plan for that, which is not great. And finally, he says that the team should have notified Uniswap about Fei's mechanics so that the Uniswap interface could actually display that penalty for selling Fei when it's below peg. I'm not sure that Uniswap could have actually done this or if this was possible, but it's a great point. I know a lot of people got burnt swapping on Uniswap because they just didn't know that you had to go to the Fei interface to see that penalty. This is all something I mentioned in my previous videos, but of course, most people didn't get to see those. So Anthony does end this on a positive note, and he basically says he doesn't think Fei is dead, which I think I tend to agree with. I think they have really big problems on their hands that I'm going to talk about. But at the end of the day, they raised so much capital that I think they should be able to figure it out over time. So the next important thing to cover is the official Fei forum, where Joey, the founder, has proposed 5 different options that could be potential solutions to help fix the Fei protocol. So the options he's suggested is basically one is to force reweights using the Guardian to allow people to sell. Now, I'm not so sure about that. I actually wanted to show you a tweet here basically recapping what happened with the first 2 reweights. So basically what happens with the reweight is Fei basically takes that liquidity out, rebalances it, and then allows people to sell the Fei token at a less significant penalty. But it's important to note here that you can see the past 2 reweights weren't successful. So you can see the price briefly spiked up and then it just got sold off because there's no demand for Fei. So the second solution Joey proposes is to increase the reward when you buy Fei below peg. Now right now the burn penalty if you're below peg is really high. So if Fei is trading at 95 cents, your burn is probably about 25 to 30%. But if you end up buying it, you only get a 5 or so % bonus for buying Fei under peg. Now what's really interesting and disappointing about this incentive is it actually failed. So you can see here they just patched a vulnerability that they found in the incentive calculation of Fei. And so because of this, they temporarily had to shut down all minting rewards on Fei when you purchase Fei below peg. So of course this isn't great, and then just further decreases the reason for anyone to purchase Fei right now. There's really no bonus or reason to do it. Now this just contributes to that downward spiral of decreasing demand for the Fei token itself. So while I do think increasing the incentives would help, clearly there's an issue with that right now, and there's something they have to solve, and they have to fix that before they can talk about increasing the incentives. Now the third thing they suggested is a possible predefined cadence for reweights. So they could do this every few hours or every time the price goes below some percentage. Now I think this could help, but once again, the reweights aren't helping right now, and that's just because demand for Fei is so low. So this is a longer term solution that could potentially work. Fourth is a pretty big solution here that they're proposing, and they're basically saying they could use all of that protocol controlled value, or the 1.3 or so billion dollars that they raised, to actually purchase Fei on the open market to prop the price up. Now the fact of the matter is this would work, right? Increasing demand for Fei would push the price up, and they have a ton of capital and resources to do that. The problem here is that they're draining all of that capital they raised, which basically makes the protocol itself less appealing for new investors. However, I will say that a lot of people lost a lot of money on Genesis, and I think this would be a good opportunity to give back to the community and put that ETH back into the ecosystem. Now, the last option that they propose is capping the burn percent to something like 2 to 5%. At the end of the day, I'm not sure how helpful this will be. I mean, the fact of the matter is there isn't that much demand for Fei now, and if you make it even easier to sell the Fei token, that's exactly what people are going to do, and that's just going to drain more value from the protocol pretty quickly. So let's talk about what options you actually do have if you invested in Genesis. I'm basically going to bucket everyone into three groups to give my recommendations. Now that first group is if you did not pre-swap Fei for Tribe and you just inputted your ETH for that Tribe airdrop and you received Fei as a consequence. The second bucket is if you converted half of your Fei to Tribe, so you have a 50-50 ratio of Fei and Tribe. And the last bucket is if you pre-swapped all of your Fei for Tribe, so now you just hold Tribe. So if you're in that first group that just intended to receive Fei and that airdrop of Tribe, what I would basically do is just hold on to the Fei and Tribe and not do anything. I don't think it's worth it right now to convert your Fei to Tribe to stake. The burn penalty is going to be really high and significant, and I don't think that's going to end up being worth it if you look at the APY here, which currently is about 88%. Now, for the group that's holding 50-50 Fei and Tribe, I think it might be worth it for you to stake and start earning rewards for doing that. This group's a bit different because they don't have to take in any penalty for swapping Fei, so I think they can kind of stake it and forget about this for a few weeks or months or until they fix the protocol. So you can see the APY is 88%, which isn't great, but if they can recover from this, the price of Tribe will go up, and then all of that past Tribe that you earned will increase in value. Now, so that last group is the group that holds all Tribe. So I think the people that hold all Tribe have a bit of a judgment call to make. The first option would be basically just to hold the Tribe. Right now, Tribe is trading well below the price you purchased it at through Genesis, so it might just be worth it to hold it in the hopes that the price recovers. The other option you have is to wait until Tribe turns the rewards back on for Fei, and then you could convert your Tribe to Fei and receive a bonus Fei for purchasing it under peg. Now, I would only convert half of your Tribe to Fei if you plan on staking and believe in the project long term. Again, a bit of a judgment call here. You might just want to hold your Tribe and not do anything and wait to see what happens. The reason for that is at an 88 or so percent APY, that's really not a great return in DeFi. And so you'd have to be hoping that the price of Tribe would go up and that you could sell all of that Tribe you collected for a much higher price. So that's pretty much it. I mean, that's where the protocol is at today, and these are the decisions you kind of have to make if you invested in Genesis. Really, the smartest thing to do here might just be to wait it out and see what happens. Now, once again, I do want to remind you to check out our Telegram. It's been very active. It's a great chat. There's been people in the community that have posted really incredible links, just helpful analysis about Fei and other protocols. So check that out if you want to. And then, of course, my Twitter link is below if you want to follow me there. So thank you all so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.